Hello everyone. Now we have 14 more candidates interview questions that they shared, which is held on 21st April. And we will be seeing all the questions according to the cluster wise. Also, what are the part 2 questions which we have left in the morning. So we will be continue from that. So let's discuss from the again candidate one. Time is 56 minutes that the interviews goes on. So you can see the questions are similar like before, like introduce yourself, explain the projects you did during your internship and in the final year of the college. Oops, explain polymorphism with example. So as you can see, they are totally focused on the project. So you have to prepare well for the upcoming projects or what you have done. You have to prepare questions for your project related and try to create a new project if you haven't done any. So you can take a referral from YouTube and ask the questions and answer from there. So it will be helpful for you to clear the interview. Now let's move on to the next questions like what are polymorphism, difference between loading and overriding, difference between abstract class and interface, can abstract method be overridden and why? Now coming to the coding part, how do you find the number of occurrence of every character in a string? Now SQL and DBMS, you can see that you have two tables, department and employee. Write a query to find out the employees' names who belong to the sales department and whose name starts with A. Explain asset properties, difference between truncate, delete, and drop. What is indexing, difference between DBMS and RDBMS. Now coming to the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript part. These are the very important because in the cluster 3, they are mostly asking HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So you have to prepare for this also. You can see the questions are, what are the different types of input in HTML? What is the form of an HTML? What is the difference between class and ID? What are pseudocode, pseudo classes? How do you add styling in your inner components? What is the box model? In JavaScript, they ask what is JavaScript, what is hosting, what is callback function, give a demo. So he has to write the code in the compiler. Now, some HR questions like any preferred location that you want to join. Are you comfortable with any shift? Are you open to work with any technology? Because he may be from the another technology. And as he mentioned that his slot was at 12, but it started at 11:40. So you have to join before the time required. So it will be good for you that you don't miss the interview. Now, for the second candidate, it was a very small, short interview that he has given that 15 minutes for last year project. In the question, they were asked like explain your last year project. What is your role in that project? Which technologies you have implemented in that project? Also told to show the project and show the output. So you have to show the project. If it is live or you have the code in your laptop, then you may have to share your screen and show the project, what you have written the code, how does it work, and you have to explain each and everything in the live session. Also told to show the project and show the output. Now for Java, all the OOPS concept for SQL indexing, views, limit, union, joins, and write Java of the syntax of class X of example of inheritance. Now coming to the third one, intro. It is for cluster 2. List tuple set dictionary. I have not mentioned here, but it's for cluster 2. They will be having your resume, so they will be asking from your resume. So you have to prepare well according to your resume. He asked tuple modification, print empty tuple, oops pillar, exam code for inheritance. It's example. Array in others language and in Python, list tuple set dictionary. He asked, do you know DSA? So if he said yes, maybe he has asked question from that. You need to prepare DSA basics also. What is bubble short program? You know about DBMS. He gave SQL code, asked few questions related to those. What are DDL command, DQL? Real world example on tuple. And last question was, are you ready for the relocation? This is the third candidate interview experience. Now let's move from the fourth candidate. Questions are similar like reverse string, and the other program was write a program for reverse string based on the number of inputs given. I have done both programs. Then he asked me to write a query to join the table. He given me three tables. I was confused, but I did that too based on my knowledge. Then he asked about cloud technologies. I said I am not familiar with the cloud technologies. Then still he asking about CI/CD pipelines. I still said no. So then he still started asking about Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud. There was no questions from Java, no questions from SQL, no questions from front end on my resume. Then he asked me to leave. He was in such a mood to reject me from the start. So you can see it is the experience which you should know that is it is not a good way that you should do. Now let's move on to the next candidate. Questions are very similar. Introduction, flowchart, thread, reverse string in Java, prime number in Java, join types of inner joins, integration in React, React components, validation code in JavaScript, SQL schema, keys in highest salary given to approach, relocation. Are you ready for all the shift structure of HTML and types of CSS? How you make responsive website, explain finally a project, what challenges constraint in SQL, hash map, print entries, what are the binary search tree, can you write code in it? That's it. Now it's again a very short question that they are asked for the candidates. It's like introduction, collection in Java, searching algorithms, oops, exception handling, reverse string. You can see that reverse string is asked to the everyone. So it is a very important question that you need to solve and you have to rehearse it before going to the interview. And again, here it is the same question. Write a code for non-repeating characters in a string. Array list versus list, stored procedures in SQL, indexing, write and query to get third highest salary. Now, one brother shared his sister's interview question that she's from electrical. Virtual interview was there. Asked about internship, asked about project in depth, means you have to prepare well in project. Asked palindrome code. Are you comfortable with any technology? Do you have any question? My sister asked feedback. So our HR will contact you. He said like this. Now the next candidate. Hello guys, my interview completed now only. He asked self-introduction project in detail. Which language are you comfortable in? I said Python. Palindrome string situation based question. He asked any contact with you about job to pay money like backdoor relocation. Which domain are you ready for any shift? Do you have any questions? Now you seeing this point like he asked any contact with you about job to pay money like backdoor. So there are scams going in the current scenarios. You have seen that many people are saying I am working in Cognizant and I will help you get selected in the interview. So you have to pay money 50,000 or 15 to 20,000. So it's a scam. Don't pay anything. Even the interview tell him that there are scams going on. So don't pay for anything. So that's why this topic is discussed during the interview. So you have to check it. Now interview phase two, cluster one related questions like started directly with write code on Armstrong number, then write some Java logics and ask me to answer the result. Same questions of polymorphism and inheritance. Some questions on functional interface static method like they can be overridden or overloaded. Then a final SQL query and finally asked to show my ID. So they are asking to show your ID. So if you don't have, just bring your ID during the virtual interview. So it will help you to show them. Now again, the next candidate started with can you join between May 1st to May 15th? Then can you relocate? Can you work with any tech stack? Then directly with write code on Armstrong number. Then write some Java logics and ask me to answer the result. So some questions of polymorphism and inheritance, some questions of functional interface static methods like I think this is done recently. Now candidate 11. My interview experience like for cluster to self intro about project detailed and my contribution about Python difference between array and list about tuple and how you implemented in project like my project in machine learning deep learning with Python exception handling and she asked have you used in your project write code for prime up to n. She comes to SQL about triggers, joins, write query related to joins. As you can see, these all the questions are there. And also, I have in my Telegram channel, I have uploaded all these questions in a single document file. So you can join our Telegram channel. There you will be finding this PDF. So it will be helpful for you. Now for the next and you need to listen that guys. I got logo means we are rejected. For the first few minutes, the text editor of Superset had some issues and I am not able to write the code. Then I left interview and then again I joined. Then it started working. Questions were self-introduction, exception handling in Java, Array list versus linked list. Print non-duplicate numbers and duplicate numbers in an array. This interviewer joined using mobile phone and he is roaming around his house taking interview, and he said, "Thank you, your interview is completed." I think he is not happy. I think 99% rejected. This is the review from the interviewer who given interview. So you need to focus on such interviewers that who are taking interview. Now, the next candidate, his cluster was two. Question was like shallow copy versus deep copy examples. Code prime numbers in a arrange. Query wise optimization. Explain union in SQL group by second highest salary. Difference between in and exist SQL. What is a virtual machine? Public cloud, private cloud, API gateway, scenario based questions. Now, for the last one, that introduction foreign key palindrome question, remove white spaces from string comparator garbage collection in Java, willing to relocate, how to add unique list in MySQL. So these are the all questions that you need to prepare. And also one good thing that is I have already shared the document in my Telegram channel, which so all the questions are asked from there. So if you have prepared 1 week from the sheets I have given, you can easily crack the questions because all the questions from SQL, database management, technical questions are all in there. If you have read it carefully, then you might have cleared the exam. So thanks for watching this video. If you need any assistance, just join our Telegram channel. And if you want to give a mock interview, I have given a link so you can book a one-on-one call so that we can take your mock interviews. So thanks for joining this video.